Good afternoon. This is the Board of County Commissioners meeting. It is Tuesday, June 20th, 2023. It is 2:03 p.m. I'm Carolina Mejia. I'm the chair of the board. To my right is Vice Chair Ty Menser. To my left is Commissioner Gary Edwards. Also in the boardroom, we have County Manager Ramiro Chavez, as well as Clerk of the Board, Jamie Caldwell. I'm calling this meeting to order, and we'll start our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance to be led by Vice Chair Menser.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Vice Chair Menser, would you like to do a land acknowledgement, sir?
Thank you, Madam Chair. We would also like to start today's meeting with the land acknowledgement. We would like to acknowledge and thank the indigenous Salish peoples whose elders and ancestors have lived on and cared for the land and waterways of this county since time immemorial. Specifically the Squaxin Island, Nisqually, and Chehalis people, our sovereign tribal partners. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection across all barriers of heritage and difference. The purpose of this acknowledgement is to disrupt ongoing erasure of injustices done and to remember history as a stepping stone towards healing.
Thank you. Okay, the board reviewed the agenda this morning. Is there any item the board would like to remove at this time?
No, ma'am. Did we add the,
And then
Yeah, we added the appointments.
F and G.
Consideration.
okay, very good. No, I
So
don't
I
have it.
can walk you through what we added. And the first one is item F, for you to consider appointing Mr. Charles Lloyd to the Historic Commission for a 4-year term. They will, with a term expiration June 20, 2027. And item 3G is for you to consider affirming the appointment of Mr. Brian Hitchie to the Timberline Regional Library Board of Trustees to fill the unexpired term of Brian Sistra with a termination expiration date of December 31st, 2029.
Thank you. Okay. Are we ready to move forward? Any questions, concerns on any of the items? Okay, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I move to approve the proposed agenda for Tuesday, June 20th, 2023.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Ma'am?
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer?
Aye.
Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Our agenda is approved. We'll move on for the opportunity for the public to address the board. The Board of Thurston County Commissioners welcomes comments from the public. However, there are some guidelines governing such comments to ensure they are appropriate and do not take advantage of the fact that most meetings are televised. The general speaking guidelines are as follows. Please introduce yourself, including the address or reside in the county. Please address the board, not the audience or staff. Please silence your cell phones for those members in the boardroom. Speakers are limited to a total of 4 minutes to address the board. Meeting attendees cannot donate their speaking time to another person. No comments that are lewd and offensive, inflammatory, hateful, defamatory, or discriminatory in nature. Please be respectful. No outburst of any kind. No comments that are commercial in nature, such as promotion of a for-profit business. All materials provided to the county may be considered public record, subject to public release upon request, pursuant to the Public Records Act, Chapter 4256 of the RCW. No remarks about pending land use permits or similar matters that could eventually come before the board on appeal. Thank you so much for your cooperation. With that, I'll go through people who have signed up. If you didn't sign up, I'll see if there's anyone else who would like to provide public comment, and then we will move on to Zoom. We'll start our first person who signed up is Jerry Bujic.
When you're old, you got to wear these glasses. Good afternoon, Commissioners. For the record, I'm Jerry Fujic. Address 17201 Lake Point Drive, Southeast, Yelm 98597. I am a member of the state's Veterans Affairs Advisory Committee. I was tasked by the Veterans of Foreign Wars Department of Washington to keep the state VFW staff advised relative to the progress made on the proposed Veterans Honors Memorial in Tenino. The Tenino Veterans Association want to erect a monument to honor those members of the Tenino community who have served our country since World War I to 2012. Many people look at how a community honors those people who have served our country because this reflects on the type of community a person wants to live in with their families. The veterans of the American Legion, Post 69, and Veterans of Foreign Wars, Post 5878, have been striving to erect a replacement monument with the names of the Tenino area residents who have served our country. The original one was removed, and they've been working on this since 2017. The cost of the monument would be based upon funds raised by the Veterans Association, not the city of Tenino. Veterans group have been frustrated because the city does not want to even to work with them or have barred them and the other veterans groups from making a presentation to the city council to obtain a logical site for the monument. Tenino, VFW, and American Legion would like to see if there is county land that this monument could be erected on. Do you have any questions?
We don't usually,
Okay.
ask questions during this time unless,
Well, I think
Okay.
more to come.
okay. Thank you. Next, you signed up, you marked you did not wish to testify, but I'll give you an opportunity. Michael Scacchi? No? Okay. Next is Frank Hicks.
This is just some pictures to show you the history.
The clerk will distribute that, ma'am.
Pardon?
The clerk will distribute the documents.
Okay, you're fine.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm Frank Hicks, 13412 Sunset Heights, Tenino. I'm here again to ask for support in erecting the honorable memorial on city property at the city park close to the memorial pool. As I discussed earlier last week, after working with the city for over 3 years to do this with the understanding that we had permission to do it, we were told that it wasn't part of the construction or there was no place for it in the park. After that, our group went back and made up a design and went before the city to do a presentation. Unfortunately, at that meeting, it went south and some unkind things were said, and we were not able to present our agenda. After that, we went back before the city and asked to be placed on the agenda. On July 9th, we received an email from the mayor, and the mayor said, "I insist that there be a meeting with us before being placed on the agenda." For the next 18 months, Mayor Fournier ignored our request for meeting with us and insists on having a response to any of our emails. After having no response, we had contacted Commissioner Hutchings, and he was able to get us a meeting with the mayor and our group. At that meeting, was discussed, and Commissioner Hutchings decided that there was no issues there that he thought why we could not place it on the city property. So we then went forward, designated a site, as I said before, we had surveying done and paperwork started on that, but since then it has all been stopped with no results. So I'm just asking that we proceed with that. Also, I noticed you said you needed to have a meeting with the mayor. I'm concerned if you have a meeting just with the mayor, we will not be able to respond to some of the comments that he's might say that may or may not be wholly true. So we would like to have an opportunity to respond to any of his comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Trudy Burnham.
What I have there, Trudy Burnham, 833 McIntosh Street, Southeast Tenino, 98589. What I just handed out was one of the first emails that I had with John Millard, which was the city clerk at the time. And I have over 200 emails, a lot of them with him. And that I just wanted to give you a sample of what we dealt with the mayor. Thank you once again for giving us the opportunity to appeal to you for your support in this matter. Last Tuesday, Mr. Chavez told Mr. Frank Hicks that he and the commissioners were going to make arrangements for a meeting with Mayor Fournier and the council, I believe. We appreciate this very much. I have struggled with why this became a battle between us and Mayor Fournier. Yesterday, I sat down and read over 200 emails pertaining to the project of a new honor wall. Our correspondence was mainly with John Millard, the clerk treasurer at the time. The emails dated 9/26/17, which I have given you, were the crucial turning point when we no longer had any say in the construction of the wall. With this being said, I ask you to please consider our proposal to build the Veterans Wall on the county property near the South Thurston County Historical Museum. Thank you. I also have a picture on my phone of what the wall would look like, but I didn't bring a copy. Would you like to see it?
And if you have access to an
Can I
email,
ask that?
if you can send that picture to the clerk, we can give you that email and they will distribute it.
How do I do that? I'm old.
We can
Can I
probably
give her my phone to do it for me?
help you after the meeting.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, Phyllis? No? And Mike McAuley?
Hello, Commissioners. I live on 109th in Yelm, and I work for the Public Road Department for 35 years.
Sir, can you state your name?
Pardon?
Can you state your name for the record?
Mike McCauley.
Mike McAuley.
I said I work for Public Roads for 35 years. I've been retired for 10, and my dad has some property right next to me, and he's 91 years old, and he wanted to sell the property and gift me like a half acre, which would take a jog out of his property and make mine straight back. So I went to the planning department to get information, and when I went in there, I talked to Carolyn, and she said, oh, it's easy. You just draw a map, draw your house, your property lines, and I told her I can't even draw a stickman. Well, there happened to be a man in there that said he could help me. His company does that. So I went to his company and they drew maps, took them back to Carolyn. She looked at him and she said, oh, you have to have parcel A and parcel B. You have lot 1, lot 2 on your map. So I said, okay. So I went back to the map guy, Lauren. He changed that. Then I came back and she looked at the maps and she says, do you have trees on your property? I said, yes, I have trees on my property. So I went back to the map guy again a couple days later, put trees on the map, came back up, showed them to her again, and she said, you need dashed lines and dotted lines on your map. So I go back to Lauren, and he goes, obviously these are young people, they don't know what they're doing. He was flustered. We made 2 sets of maps. one with dash lines and one with dotted lines, come back to Carolyn, showed them, and she looks at him, she goes, gee, I'm not sure which ones we want. She goes, there's a guy in the back that reviews maps, so let me get him. So he comes out and looks at him, and he wasn't sure either. So we said, just keep both sets of maps, throw the ones you don't want away. And Lauren asked her, is there anything else you want on the map? She goes, nope, that's it. They accepted my money of $1,551. And I thought I was done. I thought, okay, this is it. Well, then about 4 months later, we started this in November, by the way. 4 months later, I get a call from Caitlin, and she said to come in, and she gives us a list of what we had to do. So me and my wife go in there, and she said, your map should have never been accepted. They're not even right. She goes, you're gonna have to start all over. You have to have them done by a surveyor. They have to be signed, notarized. You have to get a quick claim deed. You have to pay the auditor $600. What else was there? All the taxes have to be paid on both properties. And it was gonna cost me $6,000 to $8,000 to do this. I checked in, the surveyors charged between $5,000 and $6,000. So I just said, forget it. We'll just get a refund. Never mind. Well, I sent in a refund. I got $525 back. So they kept $1,000, and I called Brett, which is in charge of planning, 4 times, and I never have received a call back yet. So I want to know what my money was spent for, what they did. I've never been so confused and misinformed in my life. I'm going, if they would have told me that on day one, I would have never did it. Don't take my money and then say, oh, now you have to do this, 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 and that. So that's where I'm at. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there anyone else in the boardroom who did not sign up who would like to provide public testimony at this time? Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Crow Lorenzen. I use they, them pronouns, and my address is 6915 Glen Annie Lane, Southwest, 98512. I'm here on behalf of the employees of Thurston County. I work for the Sheriff's Department, but I want to provide a little bit of support to what all of my fellow employees said last week at the Board of County Commissioners meeting. Now that we've gotten the market study back. One of my favorite science jokes in college was, 2 people walk into a bar. The first person asks, I'd like an H2O, please. The second person says, I'd like an H2O too. The second person dies because H2O2 is hydrogen peroxide and H2O is water. These 2 elements are chemically 75% identical. So when I heard Siegel say that in their methodology for their study, they were looking for at least 4 elements in the job description that were at least 75% similar, I was a little dubious. And looking at the jobs that they've come back with, I haven't done research on everything. I haven't had time, but for the ones that they came back with for our legal assistants, I know that the state of Washington legal assistant comparable they identified is all about supporting lawyers and attorneys. We don't do any of that at the sheriff's office. We process warrants, civil paperwork, public disclosure requests, law enforcement records, body-worn camera. And I also know that 2 of the positions in other counties they found as comparables were not law enforcement support work at all, which has some differences, generally including the possibility for secondary trauma. So I would just urge you all to take that market study with a grain of salt. And listen to my fellow county employees when they speak and say that we deserve better.
Thank you. Anyone else in the boardroom? Okay, we'll move on to Zoom.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I will call you, if I misspell or mispronounce your name, please forgive me. Shalene Sowers? She's an employee, and the only one that I don't recognize, I think the rest of them are employees.
Emily Klaus.
Emily Klaus?
No public comment, thank you.
Thank you, Emily Klaus.
No public comment from me either. Thank you.
Thank you. That will conclude public testimony, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Okay. We'll move on to county manager's update.
Yeah, I have a couple of updates for you. This is a follow-up to the two elements related to the fireworks ban. Based on the current weather conditions, at this point, there's no warrant to implement a ban on the discharge of fireworks. However, we will continue to see the forecast as we move along. I have the long-term forecast through the end of the month, and the temperatures will be hovering about low 70s to mid 70s on average. And we will have just about 40 to 45% humidity. So that appears to be a high spike and high temperatures. Also, that is related also to the safety burn ban for outdoor burning. No burn ban will be implemented. However, we will be continuing to monitor that, the weather conditions, and if that warrants to implement a safety burn ban, we will do so as soon as possible. That's all I have for you.
Thank you. Okay, any questions for the county manager? Okay. I do have a comment in regards that the board has asked me to make. So on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners, we thank employees who took the time last week to make public comment and to provide their input. The board has been kept informed of the ongoing negotiation process. The board is also committed to continue to negotiate in good faith to reach a balanced contract. The board understands the process, and we believe at this point the process is currently in mediation. Thank you. Okay, with that, any further comment from any of the board members, commissioners?
From, in regard to what we've heard today, is that what you're referring to?
Just the county manager's update or?
Oh, okay, okay, good enough, thank you.
Okay.
Is there any update to provide, since we've had multiple weeks of comment on the Tenino wall issue?
Yes, we're still trying to schedule a meeting with the Mayor Tenino. The issue, as I understand it, although that you are requesting to build a wall within the rights of way of the trail, which is owned by the county, that is within the city of Tenino. So the city of Tenino needs to agree on that location because the city of Tenino needs to take the responsibility to operate and maintain that memorial. So even though if the Board of County Commissioners would agree on giving you an easement on the trail, we need to rely on the city of Tenino to maintain it. And that is the conversations that we need to engage with the city of Tenino and the mayor of the city. We don't have an oversight, the county doesn't have an oversight responsibility as to how the operations of the city of Tenino will be. It has to be a mutually agreed location in a mutually agreed document as to how they will agree on the location and also they will agree to maintain it. So that is the next steps in the process. It's not just allowing through an easement to build this memorial wall on the county trail. Needs to be in coordination with the city.
And then second, if my seatmates are in agreement, could we ask for a follow-up on Mr. McCauley's issue at an appropriate time?
Yes, as soon as, finding appointments is difficult, so we'll continue to find a time that we can have, and certainly when, hopefully when you return from your summer recess, I will have an update.
Madam Chair.
Go ahead, sir.
Reference Mr. McCauley's
Yeah.
situation. It's bad enough, the long delay, and I don't think he did not mention this, but each time back and forth from the office was days of activity, delays. But the refund, according to our own policy, says something like 80% should be returned.
That's what I'm gonna look as to the terms and conditions of the refund. You pay, I believe, $1,600, and you get refunded only $500. So let me look into the details as to how staff concluded on that refund. I will follow up on that.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll move on to consent items. There's items A through G. Is there any item on the consent agenda commissioners would like to remove?
No, ma'am.
I'm ready for a motion.
I move to approve consent items 3A through 3G.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. This is a non-debatable motion, so I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer? Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. The consent agenda is approved. Moving on to department items. Item 4A is approval of the voucher list.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for your consideration, Commissioners. Is for you to approve the voucher list for the week of June 5th, 2023, for a combined amount of $2,339,175.34. This particular voucher list includes some expenditures related to the tenant improvements of this building.
Thank you. Any questions? Commissioner Edwards?
I'm not going to have questions, but I'll need a second, or I'd ask.
Questions, Commissioner Menzer?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm ready for a motion.
Move to approve the voucher list for the week of June 5th, 2023 for a combined amount of $2,339,175.34.
I'll second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Nay.
Commissioner Menzer? Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Moving on to item 4B is approval of the voucher list for the week of June 12th. County Manager?
Similar to the previous item, this voucher list is for the week of June 12, 2023, and it has a combined amount of $4,060,520.19. Also, this voucher list include expenditures related to the tenant improvements of this building.
Any questions? Commissioner Edwards?
No, ma'am.
Commissioner Menzer? Okay, I'm ready for a motion.
I move to approve the voucher list for the week of June 12th, 2023 for a combined amount of $4,068,520.19.
I'll second that. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Nay.
Commissioner Menzer?
Aye.
Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Okay. From the Commissioner's Office, item 5A, interlocal agreement for reimbursement of involuntary commitment court services. And Robin Campbell, Assistant County Manager.
Thank you, Commissioner. Robin Campbell, Assistant County Manager. The item before you this afternoon is to approve an interlocal agreement with the Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Administrative Services Organization, or the BHASO, to reimburse the county for court costs related to involuntary commitment services for people in the system. The county has had an agreement for many years now with the BHASO, and it was brought to our attention that the Washington state law requires the county to have a per case rate countywide rather than billing the direct costs of Superior Court, the clerk, the prosecutor, and public defense. So this contract is a bridge contract, if you will, For the first half of this year, we will use the old method to bill the BHASO, and beginning July 1, we will use the new per case rate to bill the BHASO. The per case rate is set at $1,085.15, and the total compensation under this contract is set at $1,270,000. Should the county incur more cases at this rate later in the year, we will monitor this and adjust it if necessary. But I would be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Questions, Commissioner Edwards?
I am gonna vote in favor of this when it comes to it, but I'd like to make sure that if at all possible, we do not expend money to deal with this situation out of the general fund. So I just want that on part of the record. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Questions, Commissioner Menzer? There was a lot of discussion on this topic both last week and this morning at agenda setting. So if anyone's interested in kind of the discussion and where Commissioner Edwards' comments are coming from, you can view those there. Okay, I am ready for a motion.
I move to approve the interlocal agreement with the Behavioral Health Administrative Services Organization for the reimbursement of involuntary commitment court services in an amount not to exceed $1,270,000 and authorize the Assistant County Manager to sign the agreement and any amendments not to exceed 10%.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer? Commissioner Mejia?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, item 5B, interlocal agreement to form the opioid abatement council. County Manager?
Thank you, Madam Chair. As a matter of background, maybe a couple of years ago, several states across the nation filed a class action lawsuit to, in this case, the distributors of the opioids that have been affected our communities across the country. That class action lawsuit was settled, and it was monetary distribution that the county received as a result of that class action lawsuit. Early in the year, we signed a memorandum of understanding with the Attorney General's office, in which requires the county to form an opioid abatement council. The opioid abatement council needs to be done at the regional level. Thurston County belongs to the Cascade Pacific Action Alliance region, which includes the Cowlitz, Great Harbor, Lewis, Mason, Pacific, Thurston, and Wahkiakum counties. So for the last few months, we have worked on an interlocal agreement with those counties and the biggest cities within, which includes in Thurston County, Lacey, Olympia, and Tumwater. Cowlitz County is Longview, and Kelso. Grace Harbor County, Aberdeen. Lewis County, Centralia, and Mason County is Shelton. All those jurisdictions, the counties and the cities that I just mentioned, need to agree in forming this opioid abatement council through a regional interlocal agreement. I have to give kudos to our prosecuting attorney, Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Scott Cushion. He has worked very diligently in making sure the terms and conditions of the local agreement meets the intent of the needs of Thurston County. This is the first step for you to consider to approving this interlocal agreement at the regional level. You will see another interlocal agreement coming in the next month or two. They also only deals with the Thurston County region. And that will be an interlocal agreement with the cities of Olympia, Lacey, Tumwater, and the county as to how we're going to be forming our sub-opioid abatement council here in Thurston County to determine how the money they will be receiving will be distributed to address the needs of the impact of the opioids in our society. So barring any questions, I will recommend the board to approve this in-local agreement, but I'm open for questions.
Questions, Commissioner Edwards?
No questions, and again, the public might want to review our morning meeting. We've discussed this. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions, Commissioner Menzer?
No.
Okay, I'm ready for a motion.
Move to approve an interlocal agreement to form a regional opioid abatement council and to authorize the county manager to sign the agreement and subsequent amendments.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer? Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Next, from Community Planning and Economic Development, item 6A, to amend the public hearing date for Olympia Joint Plan update. And is
I
Leah?
can probably take that, Madam Chair. I don't see staff online.
Okay, go ahead.
Early in the year, the Board of County Commissioners authorized setting a public hearing to hear public testimony related to the Olympia Joint Plan. The public hearing was set for July 25th, 2023 at 3:30 in the afternoon in this building. In the last week, we realized that on July 25th, there may be a conflict with the Board of County Commissioners' schedule, and unfortunately, we'll have to cancel that meeting. So this particular action is for you to consider moving that public hearing that you set for July 25th, 2023 to August 1st, 2023 at 3:30 in the afternoon in this room, in this building. Any questions?
Questions, Commissioner Edwards?
No, Commissioner. No, ma'am.
Questions, Commissioner Menzer?
No.
Okay, no questions for me. I am ready for a motion.
Move to amend the date for the public hearing to take public comment on the Olympia Joint Plan update from July 25th, 2023 at 3:30 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter may be heard at 3000 Pacific Avenue Southwest, room 110, to August 1st, 2023 at 3:30 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter may be heard at 3000 Pacific Avenue Southwest, room 110.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer?
Aye.
Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Thank you. Okay, Public Health and Social Services, item 7A, DSHS Workforce Children with Special Needs Program Agreement, and Gretchen Thaler, Program Manager. Go ahead, Gretchen.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Gretchen Thaler. I'm the Division Director of Community Wellness at Thurston County Public Health and Social Services. I'm seeking approval of the Department of Social and Health Services Contract 2163-19714, Amendment Number 1, for an increase of $778,500 from June 25th, 23 until June 30th of 2025, for a total maximum amount of $126,650 for the period of July 1st of 2021 through June 30th of 2025. The purpose of this funding is for our community health nurse and our children with youth with special health care needs program to assist DSHS staff in determining a parent's ability to participate in the workforce program. They do this by doing an evaluation of the child and working with the parents. Children with special health care needs are children 0 to 18 or up to age 21 if they're enrolled in special education, and those having a medical or a developmental, mental health, or behavioral issue that requires specialized care. I'm open to any questions.
Thank you, Gretchen. Questions, Commissioner Edwards?
Gretchen, how long have you been a nurse?
28 years.
Well, thank you for your service, and I have no other
you.
questions.
It's gone fast.
Questions, Commissioner Menzer? I kind of want to echo what Commissioner Edwards said this morning, because I think it's very important that we highlight just the amazing work that you do, but all your nurses do really, and Bonnie being one of them, being able to get additional funding for the great need that really exists in our community. Just huge thank you for really all the work you do, because this will go a long way. It won't address the full need, but the work that you do out in the community, it really is so important. It is recognized. I've heard from so many people about what a great job you all do. So
Thank you.
I'm ready for a motion.
Move to approve amendment number 2163-19714-01 with the Department of Social and Health Services County Work First Children with Special Needs Program for an additional $78,500 for the term June 25th, 2023 through June 30th, 2025, and a maximum total amount of $126,650 for the term of July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2025. And authorize the Director of Public Health and Social Services to sign the agreement and any future amendments that do not exceed 10%.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Mentor? Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Thank you, Gretchen.
Could I just add real quick what you said about Bonnie? I just want to recognize she's been with our county for 42 years delivering this service. I've been with us 22 years, and I've had the pleasure just of learning so much from her. I'm glad you recognized her. She really is it's well deserved, and she is known throughout this community for just the amazing work she does. So I have learned so much from her over there. So I thank you for recognizing her.
Thank you. Okay, item 7B, amendment number 14 to the Washington State Department of Health 2022 through 2024 consolidated contract number CLH 31030, and David Bain, our Public Health and Social Services Director.
Good afternoon, and thanks again for the recognition of our department and our nurses. Bonnie is now going to be our longest serving staff person after Art retires, so a pretty impressive streak there. I'm coming today to talk about amendment number 14 to the Washington State Department of Health consolidated contract. This is number CLH 31030. I've been up here, I think, 4 times before with you guys with these amendments. It's pretty routine. This will be an additional $1,180,980. This is primarily focused on our COVID funding, and the duration for this fund is up until December 31st, 2024. So we'll entertain any questions.
Questions? Commissioner Edwards?
No questions, thank you.
Questions? Commissioner Menser?
No.
No questions for me. I'm ready for a motion.
Move to approve amendment number 14 to the State of Washington Department of Health Consolidated Contract CLH 31030, providing an additional $1,180,980 for a revised maximum consideration of $13,729,863 for the duration of January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2024, and authorize the Director of Public Health and Social Services to sign the amendment.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Mentor?
Aye.
Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving to item 7C, Amendment 6 to Healthcare Authority Contract K3971 Criminal Justice Treatment Account, and Shaylin Sowers. Report on this item, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Shaylin Sowers, Thurston County Public Health Treatment Sales Tax Data Analyst. As background to both items 7C and 7D, Thurston County Public Health and Social Services receives an annual allocation of Criminal Justice Treatment Account funding, so that's CJTA, from the State of Washington Healthcare Authority, or the HCA. This funding must be spent on substance use disorder treatment and recovery support services for individuals involved in the criminal justice system. So today I'm here to ask your approval of this Amendment 6 of the Healthcare Authority contract for CJTA. And this provides an additional $50,000 to the original contract amount for a total of $417,222. And this is for the period of July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023.
Thank you. And you have kind of covered items 7C and 7D. And item 7D is the amended interlocal agreement with Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Administrative Services Organization for the Criminal Justice Treatment Account Funds. We'll start with item 7C. Are there any questions for that item?
No questions. We've had prior conversations on this.
Okay, I am ready for a motion.
I move to approve Amendment 6 to the Healthcare Authority Contract K3971 for criminal justice treatment account funds to add $50,000 for a total of $417,222 for the period of July 1, 2022 to June 30th, 2023, and authorize the Director of Public Health and Social Services to sign the amendment and any amendments that do not exceed 10%.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer?
Aye.
Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Okay, and item 7D, are there any questions on that matter?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm ready for a motion.
Move to approve an amended interlocal agreement with the Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Administrative Services Organization for a total of $140,000 in criminal justice treatment account funds for the period of July 1, 2022 to June 30, 2023, and authorize the Director of Public Health and Social Services to sign the agreement and any amendments that do not exceed 10%.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer?
Aye.
Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Thank you. Thank you, Shaylin.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 7E, Homeless Services Contract with Department of Commerce, and Thomas Webster, our Senior Program Manager.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Tom Webster, our Senior Program Manager with Office of Housing and Homeless Prevention and Public Health and Social Services. So here to ask your approval to sign a contract with the Washington State Department of Commerce for $21,550,000. This is a 2-year contract that is our annual or biannual contract with Commerce for homeless services. This contract includes multiple funding sources, including the Consolidated Homeless Grant, Eviction and Prevention Rent Assistance, Emergency Housing Fund, Housing and Essential Needs, and also includes some document recording fee supplemental funding this year. So this contract is for 2 years from July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2025. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Questions, Commissioner Edwards?
No questions. Thank you.
Questions, Commissioner Menzer? No questions for me. I am ready for a motion.
I move to approve the interagency agreement between Thurston County and the Washington State Department of Commerce for homeless services funding for approximately $21,550,000 and authorize the Director of Public Health and Social Services to sign the agreement and any amendments that do not change the amount by more than 10%.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer?
Aye.
Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Okay. Tom, and the next item is yours as well. Item 7F, 2023 Homeless Services Contract.
Great. Thank you again, Commissioners. So I'm here to ask your approval to sign contracts with 16 nonprofit organizations to fund combined 30 projects for a combined total amount of $10,573,838 for the 2023 program year. These are funds partially that you just approved coming from the Department of Commerce, but they also include local funds, including our local home fund and other local document and recording fees. Recommendations for these awards were made by the Regional Housing Council. We issued an RFP, a request for proposals, in February of this year. We received 35 applications. Those applications were due at the end of March. They were reviewed by the Homeless Services Advisory Board of the Regional Housing Council. This is a group of local subject matter experts in homeless services. Those recommendations were then brought before the Regional Housing Council, and then they were approved unanimously by the RHC last week, and we're bringing them to you for your approval. The full list of awards is in your packets. I'm happy to read that if that is appropriate, but there's 30 names, so I'm happy to answer any questions. Some of these contracts will begin July 1st and run for a year. Other contracts will begin September 1st, depending on the funding source.
Thank you. Questions?
No questions, ma'am.
Questions?
This is we reviewed the spreadsheet this morning. That's what you're
Yes.
proposing, yeah.
Yes.
I don't need you to read that because I went through it.
Lengthy.
Very good. No questions.
No questions? Perfect. No questions for me. Again, just comments, just to thank both you and Keely, as well as the advisory board members for all the effort that it takes to really, effort and time that it takes to look over all these grants. It does take quite a bit of time and effort, and there's a lot of hard decisions that need to take place and, in order for us to have these results here. So, okay, I'm ready for a motion.
I move to approve housing contracts between the county and 16 nonprofit organizations to fund 30 projects for a combined total estimated amount of $10,573,838 for the 2023 program year, and authorize the Director of Public Health and Social Services to sign the contracts and any amendments that do not change the approved dollar amount or duration by more than 10%.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Mentor? Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Okay, Public Works, item 8A, release of guardrail easement to clear property encumbrance. And Craig Sisson, our Real Estate Services Manager.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Craig Sisson, Real Estate Services Manager with Public Works. This relinquishment is for an easement acquired by Thurston County in 1991 as part of a guardrail installation project for the Little Rock Road Southwest area. As part of the acquisition for the Little Rock Road Southwest and 113th Avenue Southwest Bridge and Intersection Improvement Project, CP 61320, it was discovered the existing guardrail easement has the incorrect legal description. The guardrail was installed and remains in its current location, but a new easement is required with the correct legal description. Thurston County is acquiring a new permanent easement for the guardrail in the correct location. The Little Rock Road Southwest and 113th Avenue Southwest Bridge and Intersection Improvement Project will replace the existing bridge over Bloom's Ditch and construct the addition of a dedicated left turn lane for traffic turning onto 113th Avenue from Little Rock Road Southwest. The guardrail is located at the bridge over Bloom's Ditch. The easement in question is not necessary as it is in the incorrect location. As part of the Little Rock Road Southwest and 113th Avenue Southwest project, Thurston County will release the existing guardrail easement to remove the encumbrance on the property. This action is in alignment with the County Strategic Plan Initiative 8 to support robust and well-maintained infrastructure systems for a thriving community.
Thank you, Craig. Questions, Commissioner Edwards?
No questions.
Questions, Commissioner Menser?
No.
No questions for me. I'm ready for a motion.
I move to approve the release of a guardrail easement acquired by Thurston County, recorded on July 29th, 1991, under Auditor's File Number 9107290138, to clear property encumbrance.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Mentor?
Aye.
Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Okay, item 8B, access agreement with the City of Olympia. Passing it right back to you, Craig.
Thank you, Commissioners. The City of Olympia is in the process of demolishing their existing gun range located adjacent to the Carpenter Road pit and repurposing the site for the construction of their new solid waste facility. The new facility will include container storage, vehicle storage, and a building for the repair of vehicles with office space. The existing access easement across the southern boundary of the Carpenter Road pit property currently used to access the property will be relinquished as it is specifically written for gun range access. The new site will have access to Carpenter Road and Martin Way, but neither access point has been developed. This temporary access agreement will allow the city to begin site work that will include the development of their legal access points. Public Works is requesting the Board of County Commissioners approve the initial signing of the access agreement and any subsequent renewals be delegated to the Public Works Director. The access agreement is written as a one-year access period with the ability to extend on a year-to-year basis. This agreement is in alignment with the County Strategic Plan Initiative 2 to improve community health, wellness, and safety and Initiative 8 to support robust and well-maintained infrastructure systems for a thriving community.
Thank you. Questions, Commissioner Edwards?
Oh, ma'am.
Questions, Commissioner Menzer? No questions for me. I'm ready for a motion.
Move to approve an access agreement with the City of Olympia across the Carpenter Pit property, allowing construction, and to authorize the Director of Public Works to execute the agreement.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote. Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer? Commissioner Mejia?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. Okay, item 8C, contract award for the 2023 overlay project, CP number 98223, and Steve Bricker, our construction engineering and support manager.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Steve Bricker, the construction manager for Public Works. On June 1st, 2023, we received a total of 5 bids for the summer's overlay project, CP 98223. The bids were received in response to ads that we put out in the Olympian and the Daily Journal of Commerce, and they were posted on the Builders Exchange website as well. The low responsive bid was received from Tucci and Sons of Tacoma, Washington, with a bid of $2,868,053.30. The roads that we'll be overlaying this year are in the northeast, southeast quadrants of the county, and a total of 4.12 miles of road will be repaved. These segments include Martin Way, Carpenter Road, Dederow Road, Meridian Road, 93rd Avenue, and Vale Road. The project will include grinding 2 inches of the existing pavement and then paving back using fiber reinforced asphalt. And this overlay, we're hoping will extend the life of the pavement by at least 15 years. Construction costs will be paid with $1 million in REIT 2 funds, and the rest will come from the county road fund. This project is in the current 2023 Public Works budget. It's in the TIP, the CIP, and is also in alignment with the county strategic plan Initiative 8. Be happy to answer any questions if you have.
Thank you, Steve. Questions, Commissioner Edwards?
No questions.
Questions, Commissioner Menzer? No questions from me. I'm ready for a motion.
Move to award the contract for the 2023 overlay project, CP 98223, to Tucci and Sons of Tacoma, Washington, in the amount of $2,868,053.30, and to authorize the Director of Public Works to execute the contract and any change orders for this project due to unforeseen conditions only, not for changes in scope, up to 10% of the contract, $286,805, or an aggregate of $3,154,858.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer?
Aye.
Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Okay. It looks like we might actually get through our agenda before our public hearing. Okay,
I got a long report, Commissioner.
Item 8D, it's a request for qualifications for Boston Harbor and Tamishan water and sewer improvements. And, it's Tim Wilson.
Yes, good afternoon, Commissioners. Tim Wilson, Water Resources Manager with Public Works, filling in today for Joe Plahuta, who will be the project engineer for these projects. Staff is here today requesting the board authorize Public Works to issue a request for qualifications for engineering services for Boston Harbor and Tamishan Water and Sewer American Rescue Plan Act funded improvement projects. Thurston County Public Works received funding allocated by the BoCC through the American Rescue Plan Act to make improvements to the Tamishan and Boston Harbor water and sewer systems. The goal of these improvements is to replace or rehabilitate water distribution and sewer collection infrastructure with the intent of reducing infiltration and inflow into the sewer system and improving water and sewer system serviceability. As a funding condition, the project work must be obligated and under a construction contract by December 31, 2024. Public Works is requesting the board approve issuance of a request for qualifications for engineering design services to complete a preliminary cost estimate, 50% design documents, 90% design documents, and final bid documents for both the Boston Harbor and Tam-O-Shan water and sewer improvement projects. Upon receipt, review, and scoring of the submitted statements of qualifications, Public Works will enter into contract negotiations with the highest rated consultant firm, and subsequently, the negotiated contract will be presented to the board for award approval. All contract expenditures will be funded through ARPA funds. And with that background, I'm happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Questions for Tim? Commissioner Edwards?
No questions, ma'am.
Commissioner Menzer?
No.
No questions for me. I'm ready for a motion.
I move to authorize Public Works to issue a request for qualifications for architect engineering services for Boston Harbor and Tam-O-Shan Water and Sewer American Rescue Plan Act funded improvement projects, CP A053A, A053B, A511A, and A511B.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer? Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Okay, moving on to item 8E. Thank you, Tim. Okay, item 8E is to approve grant contract with the County Road Administration Board for Old Highway 99 and Tilly Road South intersection, CP number 61317, and Marcus Storvik, Senior Civil Engineer, is here. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Mark Storvik, Senior Civil Engineer, Public Works. Thurston County has been awarded a Rural Arterial Program, or RAP, grant in the amount of $2,100,000 from the County Road Administration Board for the Old Highway 99 and Tilly Road South intersection project, County Project number 61317. The RAP award will be given in two phases, $500,000 this biennium and the remaining $1.6 million in the next biennium. The board is being asked to approve the agreement for the initial $500,000 award. This project will include installation of a left turn lane on Old Highway 99, road reconstruction, 5-foot paved shoulders, stormwater improvements, and safety features. Construction is planned for the summer of 2026. The total revised project cost is just over $4 million, with the remaining funds coming from a combination of federal impact fees and county road funds. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Questions, Commissioner Edwards?
No questions, thank you.
Questions, Commissioner Menzer? No questions for me. I'm ready for a motion.
I move to approve the Rural Arterial Program Project Agreement for construction, providing a grant in the amount of $500,000 for the Old Highway 99 and Tilly Road South intersection project, CP 61317, and authorize the Director of Public Works to sign the agreement and any subsequent agreements, amendments, and administrative changes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer? Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Okay, and item 8F is contract award for Thompson Creek Road Southeast at Thompson Creek Fish Passage, CP number 63025, and Cooper Road Southwest at Mock Chehalis Creek Culvert Replacement Project, CP number 61554. Right back to you, Marcus.
Thank you again, Commissioners. On June 7th, 2023, 2 bids were received to provide the steel bridge fabrication work for the Thompson Creek Road Southeast at Thompson Creek Fish Passage, County Project number 63025, and Cooper Road Southwest at Mock Chehalis Creek Culvert Replacement Project, County Project number 61554. The low responsive bid was received from Contact Engineering Solutions, LLC of Ohio, with a bid of $353,595.10. This contract will provide for the manufacture and delivery of these 2 bridges ahead of the construction contracts for their installation, saving about 12 months of lead time. REAT 2 funds allocated for the Fish Passage Enhancement Program will be used to purchase the new Thompson Creek Road Southwest Bridge. This installation and project construction will be funded with 2 grants totaling $550,000, with the remaining project costs funded from REAT. Whereas the Cooper Road Southwest Bridge purchase, as well as the installation and construction of that bridge, will be paid from the county road fund. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Questions, Commissioner Edwards?
No questions, thank you.
Questions, Commissioner Menzer? No questions for me. I'm ready for a motion.
Move to award the contract to fabricate and deliver 2 steel bridges for the Thompson Creek Road Southeast Project, CP 63025, and Cooper Road Southwest at Mox Chehalis Creek Culvert Replacement Project, CP 61554, to Contech Engineered Solutions of Westchester, Ohio, for a total amount of $353,595.10. And to authorize the Director of Public Works to execute the contract and any change orders due to unforeseen conditions only, not for changes in scope, up to 10% of the contract, $35,356, or an aggregate of $388,955.
Second.
So moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Go ahead.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer?
Aye.
Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Okay, thank you, Marcus. Okay, and going to our last department item, item 8G, approve grant agreement with the U.S. Department of Transportation for Thurston County Safety Action Plan, CP number 61491, and Matt Unselman, our county engineer. Go ahead, Matt.
Good afternoon, County Commissioners. Matt Unselman, Thurston County Engineer. Thurston County has been awarded a total of $264,000 in federal funding for the Safe Streets and Roads for All program, otherwise known as SS4A program for the Thurston County Safety Action Plan. This funding is included in the current federal infrastructure bill. The estimated total project cost is $330,000. The remaining project funding will come from the county road fund. As you know, the Thurston County Public Works developed a systemic local county road safety plan in 2018. The action plan is very similar to what the local county road safety plan is. However, there are a few additional criteria that our local county road safety plan could not meet to become an action plan. Specific items that needed to be expanded upon or added to the local county road safety plan, including additional public outreach. But we're also going to use this as an opportunity to expand our current county road safety plan. Currently, our plan focuses only on corridors. We are going to add intersections to our safety plan so that in the future, we can look at county improvements at intersection locations as well. With that, I can answer any questions that you may have.
Questions, Commissioner Edwards?
No questions. Thank you.
Questions, Commissioner Menzer?
No.
No questions from me. I'm ready for a motion.
I move to approve the Safe Streets and Roads for All grant agreement with the U.S. Department of Transportation in the amount of $264,000 for Thurston County Safety Action Plan CP 61491, and authorize the Director of Public Works to sign the agreement and any subsequent agreements, amendments, and administrative changes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer? Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Thank you, Matt. Okay. Moving on to our standing items, item 9A, Commissioners will report on board work sessions and assigned committee meetings, providing updates on actions taken as well as upcoming issues. Commissioner Edwards.
Oh, okay. Let's see, I attended with my seatmates, the Swede Day Coordination, South Thurston Economic Development Initiative, and the Flag Day celebration. Also met with the Nisqually tribe over governmental issues. Had a meeting with the Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Administration monthly meeting, and Nisqually River Council, I guess. And then just a lot of constituent contracts over property issues, lake management districts, business development inquiries, federal flood concerns, and the Nisqually I-5 bridge. That's it for me, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Menzer.
Thank you. As far as assigned committee meetings, I had work sessions and meetings for both the Clean Water Alliance on Wednesday, the Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Administrative Services Organization on Thursday. Attended the jail resources team meeting last week, new employees orientation, the steady meeting with my seatmates, which it's worth noting that that meeting is getting more and more robust. It seems like every month and longer, to the point where we now have representatives from Senator Murray's office, Representative Strickland's office, and Representative Glusenkamp Perez all sending staff members to track what we're doing in South Thurston County, so that's pretty exciting. Flag Day ceremony in Lacey at the plaza with my seatmates, as well as the Corey House ribbon cutting down in Tenino on Friday. Prep meetings regarding to the State Building Code Council. I attended the Juneteenth event in Olympia on Sunday, and the Swede Day coronation on Friday night, which I've always had a conflict on that one, and that was actually the first time I got to attend that, and it was really pretty cool. The county sheriff was there, all three commissioners were there. We got to hear the final speeches of the candidates, which was really interesting to hear, and then the results of the voting and strawberry shortcake, and I thought it was a pretty good event. So thank you for attending that down in South District 3.
Yeah, no, all the participants were pretty incredible, and their speeches were pretty well thought out, and I was very impressed. And it was my first time also attending the coronation part of Sweet Day, so it was just great to see, and very, very good shortcake, I agree. Okay, for me, I attended the Juneteenth Day in Lacey on Saturday. I also attended the study meeting as well as the Corey House ribbon cutting. I attended the 3 cities plus the county meeting with our county manager, and we discussed just TCOM and not TCOM, I'm sorry, TC Media. And so I believe we have a session this week kind of as a follow-up to that. I had a meeting, a follow-up meeting with the Washington School Alliance as well as the Olympia School District. And David Bain, our Public Health and Social Services Director, as well as Lynn Nelson, our Board of Health member, attended that meeting and had a presentation and a slideshow from the Washington School Alliance and how they've helped other districts have this partnership between the counties and the school districts to have these school-based clinics, and maybe seeing if there was an avenue for us to proceed that way. So it was just very interesting to see just the different kind of funding mechanisms that other places have done. Transportation Policy Board, we got a report from Representative Doglio, and then the conversation came up again on approaching doing a regional project and how we would proceed on that. I, as well as staff, have concerns about how the grading would be on a regional project and whether it would be mostly focused in certain jurisdictions rather than really benefit the whole regional. And so just more conversations will follow up, I believe, and I think we'll start just stating our concerns that if we are to go through a regional project direction for federal funds, it really truly has to be regional and not just benefit one party over another. For ORCA, we had our board meeting and I discussed a little bit about the conversation about using AI for public records, which again, very interesting. But there was a celebration afterwards because they have officially paid off their building. They send their thanks to Thurston County for their support and them being able to finally own that building. And so it was just a great celebration on how far they've come and now owning that building. And I attended the Flag Day celebration as well as the Regional Housing Council meeting and we saw kind of the results of that Regional Housing Council meetings and our agenda item where we approved those grants. I also went with our assistant county manager and our county manager, and we met with a potential federal lobbyist. And that is not something that's been approved by the board yet, but we wanted to get an idea of scope and pricing, and we got some good information from that, and more to come on that. I also met with Congresswoman Strickland's outreach team, and from that, I kind of let them know about the meat processing study, and from there, they reached out to Pierce County, and now this week we have a meeting with Congresswoman Strickland as well as Pierce County, and now Jenica is gonna go. I'm gonna try to go to that meeting to kind of see the initial results of that. Way faster than what we anticipated. This was a really quick turnaround, but I guess when a Congresswoman is requesting information on it, you know, we have to provide it. So I will be providing more information from that meeting this week. Okay, that's all I have to report. The county manager will now review the Board of County Commissioners schedule for the week of June 20th, 2023.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Commissioners. Let me walk you through your combined schedule for this upcoming week. And that will take me only to this Friday, June 23rd. Beginning on June 26th, next Monday through July 14th, Friday, that's your scheduled summer recess. So there will not be Board of County Commissioners meetings or briefings during that time. So the next time you will convene here will be on Tuesday, July 18, 9 in the morning for your regular agenda setting. And you will have the first meeting after your summer recess, again on July 18th at 2 in the afternoon. So today, here in a few minutes at 3:30, you have an open house where you will, public hearing, where you receive public testimony related to the request for a Terry open space application. Next, you have another public hearing related to the 2023-2027 Housing and Urban Development Consolidated Plan. Wednesday, June 21st, 9 in the morning, you have a joint meeting with your Planning Commission. At 10:30, you have a briefing related to the conservation futures. At noon, you have been invited to participate in the Tenino Area Chambers of Commerce that will be located in Sandstone Cafe at 273 6th Avenue West in Tenino. Then in the afternoon at 2:30, you have a briefing related to the potential sales tax ballot measure related to public safety. Thursday, June 22nd, 9 in the morning, you have a briefing related to the 2024-2025 rate increases on Lawrence Lake Management District. 9:30 in the morning, you have a briefing related to the 2024-2025 water and sewer utility rates. 10 in the morning, June 22nd, Thursday, you have your regular commissioners check-in. 1 in the afternoon, you have a transportation improvement briefing from Public Works, followed by 2 o'clock an executive session related to the TC media contract. And at 6 in the afternoon, Thursday, June 22nd, here in this room, you have a joint meeting with the Lacey City Council. And the agenda has been posted online for the public to follow. This will be a live stream joint meeting. So, and we will work through those details as we come along. Nothing on Friday, June 23rd, nothing over the weekend. And again, your scheduled summer recess will take effect June 26th through July 14th. Any questions?
Questions?
I guess I would point out that individual commissioners may have their normal
You may have
constituent
individual
meetings. We just
appointments.
won't be meeting together.
I appreciate it. Yeah, this is just your combined schedule as a board.
Thank
You
you.
may have individual appointments, yes.
Okay, so again, just for the public, we will not be having a Board of County Commissioners on June 27th, July 4th due to the holiday, and July 11th Those will be the weeks of our summer recess. This is a new item we're trying out. We're just trying to see how it will work out once our board expands to 5 members and just trying to coordinate everyone's schedule. And then July 18th, we will resume with our agenda setting and our Board of County Commissioners meeting. I have let my board members, my colleagues know that I will be attending via Zoom that day. And then the meeting for July 25 has been canceled just because of the National Association of Counties conference happening. Again, if you need to reach out to an individual commissioner, you know, you're always welcome to contact them via email or phone during that time.
And the office will remain
And
open.
the office, yeah, will remain open. Okay. So with that, it is 3:23. Commissioners have a 7-minute break before we resume with our public hearings at 3:30. Thank you.